Hey baby, welcome back to my show. This is episode 47 of the Tim Weichselbaum Show. My name is Tim Weichselbaum, and I'm still doing this podcast here, even though, why you might ask, am I doing this still? People might be asking themselves daily, why are you still doing that? Well, it's not about the product that I'm putting out. It's not about the quality of the product that like I just said, and putting out. It's about the fact that I gotta document my life for archival purposes. Hey, sorry that you have to sit through this part of it of me talking weird. People in my okay, let's get serious. Stop fucking around. The reason I'm doing this, people that are going to be watching this are people that are in the line of succession. And they need to watch how I lived when I was alive. So that in case they need to know something about me for, I don't know, some kind of like legal purpose, like if they need to dig back to see if I was racist, who knows? Maybe they won't. Maybe I don't know. There's many reasons. Like if somebody wants to put out a documentary about me, or a biography, a biopic, a bio-audio book. This is footage of me, so it's straight from the horse's mouth. If you need to know something, like who the fuck knows? You might need to know, okay, what was he up to when he was 32 in 2022? This is the fucking middle of his life. What was he up to back then? I don't know. Might be relevant. Might need it as an alibi. Like, hey, where were you in 2022? What were you doing that year? Well, he was doing this podcast. Let's see if he mentions anything about what he was up to that year or that period of his life. Because I'll be doing this more than this year. I started it last year in October of 2021. And it's October of 2022 now. I'm almost a different person. I'm a year older almost. And so we're definitely going to keep doing. I mean, that's all. That's the whole point of what I wanted to get at in the open here for this episode is that it's basically, this is for people to look back on my life in high def and be like, okay, that's pretty good evidence that he was doing with this particular thing at this time. So we do have a lot to talk about this episode, and it's going to be a long one. So buckle up. I never say that. I usually say it's going to be a short one. Now, this is going to be a long one. And so what that means is, hey, that probably means a lot has happened to me this past week. Not really. For me, hey, a lot happened this past week. For other people, it might just be like, big what? But not everything that's interesting for one person doesn't mean that it ain't valuable for nobody. I mean, hey, let's just start the show. Fuck it, let's just start the show, and I won't even preempt the hype. I won't even, hype it up. We'll just get right into it. All right, so our first topic on the docket is, we'll start off slow and easy. Okay. So I'm a new guy. I'm a new car owner. I've never owned a car until I was 30. I don't know why I made me 30. 31, I think. Yeah, I was like 30 or 31. I was 30. Yeah, isn't that fun? That's a nice round age for the year that I got my first car. And my first car was a Tesla. So that's fucking crazy. That's a weird first car. That's like so... It spoiled me so much. And then I definitely don't have that anymore. That's kind of the reason I started this podcast. Sorry, I don't know why I keep having to say the F word so often on this thing. Okay. So that was my first car. I had to get rid of that because I disabled it. Because I definitely misused it. Because I took an impulsive action. I guess I'm an impulsive person. That's gonna be talked about more later on a little bit. Man. So anyway, I got a second Tesla after that. It was like $140,000 of a car. Sold that in July of this year, so just a couple months ago. Sorry, I'm not in focus. I gotta lean back a little bit so that the camera gets me in focus. So anyway, I got the Miata. That was my third car in 2 years, I believe. Less than 2 years. I needed the Miata because the Tesla... it'd be insane to drive that everywhere. You need to be worth $10 million for that to not feel like a really expensive decision to make that your primary car. So anyway, I got the Miata, $35,000 car. And that thing has been treating me pretty well. Like, it's had no problems. Like, it's so reliable. The Tesla, the second Tesla I had was horrible, not reliable, not that fun to drive either because you're more worried about how much money you're losing on the depreciation of the thing, and you're just worried that you're gonna kill somebody because of how fast it was. But at least I'm over it. At least I don't have to at least I got it out of my system. I got the rocket car out of I know what it's so I never have to wonder what it would be like to have a really fancy car or a super fast accelerating car, because I could be yeah, I've done that. I've been down that road before. It's not as glamorous as you think it is, as you might think. And another thing that has nothing to do with the car. Anyway, the reason I brought up the car thing, which is super interesting, so interesting, is that I finally have owned a car for long enough that I gotta get the thing serviced for maintenance. For once, I'm actually responsible enough to own a car long enough where I gotta get the oil changed on that sucker. I gotta get the tires rotated. So I made an appointment to have that done today. And I slept through the appointment. I thought I had an alarm set on my phone. I had my volume turned up on my phone, assuming that the alarm would wake me up. Nope, I slept right through that fucking appointment. So now my car is Miata. It's got 5,000 miles. Almost 6,000, and that's overdue for an oil exchange. Every time I turn on a car, the dashboard is telling me, "Hey, you're due for an oil change." So it's shit. I don't want to be abusing this car, man. The car did nothing wrong, or it deserves to be chugging this old dirty oil. So and I can tell that this thing is running kind of chalky. It just feels kind of more. I forgot how I described it when I was driving it earlier tonight. I was yeah, it feels more how did I describe it? I don't know. It's just stiff. It just felt more dirty. Anyway, I slept through the appointment, and why is that a big deal? Well, I don't know. It kind of brings me to the main theme of this podcast episode, and just the whole past month that I've been looking to diagnose and treat, which is ADHD. That shit is a real disease. I don't know. They say. I don't know if I guess it's a real disease, and if it's real, hey, I definitely got it. I don't care if it's real or not. I know there's something wrong with me, and I know that I got to do something about it, and I've been trying shit, and so we made some. There's been some progress. There's definitely some updates to talk about on that front, but let's comb through the boring topics. Otherwise it's going to be a short. I mean, if I can't close on the shit that's the most interest. Can't open on the shit that's most interesting. You know what I'm talking about? And but we are this actually. This will be a short episode actually. Now that I'm starting to not enjoy doing this anymore, I'm getting better at not going for long, which is I don't know. I don't know why that is, but anyway, I guess it's just because there's not that much to talk about. And even if there is, I could always just talk about nothing. I'm good at just bullshitting and talking, taking a subject and just extrapolating forever. But nah, we're not gonna do that in this episode. Who cares? It really is not necessary. Anyway, and I am making a shitload of money from this podcast, so I should probably thank the sponsors. Okay, so we're sponsored by a cartel, not an illegal one, a legal cartel. I know that cartel usually has a dirty connotation, but actually there's many legal Let me look up the definition of cartel. I might actually have this wrong. Why is my voice worn out already? I guess because I sang. Yeah, I guess that's why, because I was singing my ass off. Okay. So a cartel is just a coalition or cooperative arrangement between political parties intended to promote a mutual interest. That's it. Oh, that's the historical. Shit. Okay, the current meaning is an association of manufacturers or suppliers with the purpose of maintaining prices at a high level and restricting competition. Okay, that doesn't mean illegal. That just means essentially a monopoly. I mean, it's the same thing as a monopoly, pretty much. Kind of. So anyway, sorry to go down that tangent. Let's get to the next topic. Okay, recluse update. So a couple months ago, I figured out that I got these horrendous arachnids called brown recluse. No S. You don't have to say any S's at the end. It's just brown recluse. That means plural. You don't have to say recluses. So multiple recluse. I got them in my house. It started with one adult at night. I was like, that looks like a brown recluse. Just by the way it was walking, and it just had this creepy, appearance that other spiders don't have. And I was like, so I killed it. That was a very intense moment. And then, okay, so whatever. So I learned a lot about them. And then immediately the next day, I already started seeing baby brown recluse. And then I started seeing, I laid out these glue traps all over the place. I still got them all over the place. It's fucking it's pretty gross that they're all just still out there with all these dead bugs that have been there for over a month on them, and they're just fucking still, I'll change them eventually, but the dead bugs act as bait for, so it's not like there's any hurry to change them. It's just nasty. Anyway, so I started noticing every day more and more juvenile brown recluse piling up on these fucking glue traps. And so I just was like, okay, this is getting not any better. And so I came very close to scheduling one of those fucking, Dale, what do you call it, dude from King of the Hill, Dale Gribble, Terminators, to come over and, but I didn't. I just like, I'll wait it out. And so then they just instantaneously stopped appearing overnight. They just stopped appearing. And I'm not an idiot. Like, I don't take that as like, oh, I guess it's over with. I guess there's no more infestation. Yeah, I wasn't born yesterday. I know that they're just hibernating. It's just the time that they're going out of season, man. It's fucking October. It's getting cold out. So, yeah, they're fucking still up there. I know it. And by next spring, I'm going to be, pretty fucking disgusted, man. I'm going to be living with adult brown recluse. I don't know, man. I guess I'm just going to have to kind of get ready for it mentally. And I kind of already have been desensitized by seeing the little ones slowly getting bigger. So fucking nasty. But so they'll be fucking full-grown adults capable of leaving fucking flesh, huge wounds in your flesh. I don't know. So that's the update on the recluse. Is that I'm not winning. I'm winning, but the war ain't over yet. Like, I won the battle, but the war ain't over. And and I learned something about extermination is that you can't trust anything that is natural and non-toxic to kill pests. I mean, okay, maybe like diatomaceous earth. I think that does work. But nothing beats like fucking poison. Like powder, there is powder poison that is very effective. But I read somewhere that, some fucking thing on, I Googled something that told me that vinegar kills bugs and spiders. It's fucking bullshit. Yeah, I fucking sprayed the shit out of some spiders, bugs, to test it out, and they were like, thank you for the free fucking rain. And they just started literally just drinking. I just watched this fucking earwig that I got. Earwigs are the primary thing that I got collected. Anyway, this fucking earwig, it's like, whoa, thank you, free vinegar water, and just started drinking it. I was like, okay, I don't think that's fucking poisonous. And so yeah, that shit doesn't do anything. So not everything you read online. I don't know why they say that. If it's completely useless, why would there be, like, there's literally zero truth to it. Maybe it kills butterflies. Maybe it kills something that just is super. Yeah, you need the real hardcore chemicals to kill these fucking things. So anyway, we cover that. So then, so now that I think I kind of like got over the hump, at least for the winter, on the recluse, it's like, oh, I got this new paranoia, termite. So I'm lying in bed for the past 2 days, and as I'm drifting to sleep, I start hearing this clicky-clack, this rattling in my ceiling, and it's like, okay, what the fuck is this? So I'm starting to think, well, okay, it could be fucking some kind of critter. And so yeah, sure enough, it could be some kind of fucking critter. But I ain't gonna. It's like it's coming from the ceiling, man. I ain't gonna fucking climb into the attic and duck underneath the very shallow. Like it's not a very easy to access part of the attic that I'm hearing these fucking things. And I fucking hope that it's not fucking what I hope is. I hope it's not termites, man, because that shit is gonna be super expensive. Forget about recluse. Fucking termites, they do more than fucking kill your flesh. They kill your assets, baby. So nothing is safe, man. It's like once you feel like, oh, okay, I guess I'm safe, some other horrible thing in nature is discovered. Oh, that's great. There's something that could just eat your fucking house. And just without you really even knowing until it's too, oh, great. You just tap on the wood and it sounds hollow. It's like, well, too late. It's already fucking gonna cost it's gonna be costing a lot of money to fix this. So, God, I fucking hope I don't got termites. That would fucking suck. So fuck living in a place that's always hot. Like you don't hear about all these fucking issues in like other places. I mean, so I'm getting my ass kicked by being a homeowner, and it's expensive because I don't give a fuck. And why do they build houses out of fucking wood? The same shit that termites eat. Like, I mean, like, I think I could afford something else. Like, is it that, like, impractical to make houses out of plastic? I don't really give a shit. Like, is it just because it, like, melts in the sun? Like, is it because of the chemicals or some shit? I don't know. It's just ridiculous that they make houses out of shit that just rots. That just decomposes. That's worth. That's what I put hundreds of thousands of dollars of human money into. Something that bugs eat. That's what I put hundreds of thousands of human dollars into. Bug food. A conveniently laid out pile of bug food. I prefer concrete. Nothing eats concrete. What the fuck eats concrete? And nothing goes through concrete either. Radio, nothing. You could have a fucking, you could bang on pots and pans. All right. Okay, so next topic on this episode of my podcast, Tim's Weichselbaum. Let's do a quick sober update. Boom! Well, am I still sober? First of all, yeah, I'm still sober from the only thing I'm trying to be sober from, which is heroin, and alcohol. And any street drug, pretty much. I mean, I'm not really fucking with anything off the street. I have not had a sip of alcohol in almost 1 year. And it's going okay. It's really given me a lot of clarity to focus on what is fucking wrong with me. When you just drinking alcohol every day, you don't really care. You don't really give a fuck about like, oh, I got all these issues. Because you're having fun. You're having a ball. So who gives a like, sure, the next day you feel like complete shit mentally and physically, and you just go, holy fuck, I was an asshole last night. But I'm going to do it again because it's pretty fucking fun. So anyway, if you're not doing alcohol, that gives you a lot of time to be like, oh shit, I should probably think about this thing that I've been struggling with my whole fucking life. And I say, yeah, I've been doing that. And for me, the solution is not to be completely straight edge. That is not ever the solution for me. I've tried many times to indefinitely stop using cannabis. And I could go indefinitely. You know, it's not like an addiction, really. And anytime I go off it, I just become so fucking miserable, and I just have no energy. I do have insomnia at first. You get this huge burst of insomnia that, eventually goes away, and then you just fucking feel horrible. You just have no energy to do anything, to focus on anything. And I would sleep for 16 hours a day and just feel completely bereft of life force. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm fucking flatlining, not getting anything done. So I would always go back to weed. And the current situation with weed is that I am in a place that doesn't really, it's not legal in Texas, which is not the fucking problem. It's easy to find weed here. But I'm just kind of bored of it. It's like, I still want it. And I tried to go on the shit that you could just buy legally here, which is, there's many, many types of cannabinoids that are legal. But they're all bullshit. They don't get me as high as the real shit. And even the real shit, after a certain point, you're not going to really get high anymore if you smoke every fucking day. So it's really, I just need better shit, and I'm too lazy to fucking seek it out. And I know that it would not solve my problems, man. Fuck, there's a moth. Fuck. The only reason it freaked me out is because it came after me. It's like, dude, why do you gotta come over to me? Is it because I'm so bright? Because I'm so pale that I reflect the lighting? Okay, so anyway, where did it come from? How did a moth get? Okay, so going right back to what I was talking about. So weed, yeah, I need some because it helps. It really helps me just, with a lot of symptoms of depression. Not just depression, because it's very, very complicated to explain the benefits of weed and the cost analysis. Because because you're paying for it in some ways. It delivers benefits that I pay for. So it's all the trade-offs. So weed, it gives me a little bit of motivation, and it relaxes me and just motivates me to get back on track. But then it goes away. After like 20 minutes or an hour, however, depending on your tolerance, that shit is going to have diminishing returns. You're going to be taking hit after hit. You're going to be taking big fucking hits. And you get a head rush, but then you don't get high. Like I smoked this fucking Delta 8, and it gives you this fucking head rush, makes you cough your fucking ass off. But that's it. It's like, okay, I'm not high though. So it's kind of a ripoff. And the real weed, whatever. So even if I'm getting the really high quality weed, it pays diminishing returns. Even when it's super potent and you get blown back by the initial whatever hit, the negative effects are outweighing the positives. And the huge negative of weed for me is that it completely takes away my social desire and like makes me not want to be in front of people. Makes me want to talk. It just makes me want to not curl up. Makes me want to just look on the computer and focus on very insular, introverted. It just makes me introverted as fuck. And it makes me want to not be social at all for many, many days. For the whole day. Even if I take a tiny hit early in the day, I'm fucked. It's going to blow my entire personality for the rest of the day. So it sucks for that. So we're switching. So it's time. So, okay, so I need to switch to something that actually helps me out. So it's all about, I'm trading off weed for something else. Now that I know that I got ADHD, that was the big thing that I found out the past month, man, because I've been trying out this treat, because I just presented to my primary care doctor with depression. I was like, hey, I gotta do something about this, man. It's like I'm just not functioning, and I am losing interest in hobbies that I once liked. And he was like, yeah, it sounds like depression. So I got on the Zoloft, and I am currently not on this. I'm still on a little bit of Zoloft, but I am trailing off the dose of Zoloft. So I'm reducing it, and I will no longer be on it because it didn't work. I gave it a chance. I gave it a solid 2 months. And I think we could rule out that is a helpful solution. It didn't really give me any help in the executive function department. And it just made me not be able to feel my dick. It's like, okay, so there's that. So I'm getting off Zoloft. It's just so I was like, okay, I sent this fucking message about, okay, I think it's ADHD, man. I think I gotta get on something. But I don't like Adderall. I've been on Adderall as a kid, and this is so long ago that I took Adderall, so I had an appointment where I told them my thoughts on how I need to get on some kind of Adderall medicine. And he was like, well, I would consider first to go on a non-stimulant such as Wellbutrin, but it has a lowered seizure threshold. It fucks with your seizures. So that's not an option. So immediately that was ruled out. So it's like, okay, fuck Wellbutrin. And so I was like, I guess stimulants then. But I was like, yeah, but I know that this Adderall stuff, it's very psychoactive. It's not my favorite thing to be on, but it works. So it's like, yeah, I'll take some of that, because I did bring up Vyvanse. I've heard anecdotally that Vyvanse is better for some people, but it's it's not a generic. I don't think there's there's no generic for Vyvanse, even though, Vyvanse is definitely its own type of chemical that is not there's no generic for it. So he was like, yeah, that one, usually we would not go straight to that one because insurance usually would not like to pay for it because it's expensive. But there's this new anyway, so I was like, yeah, fine, I'm willing to go through the process. I'll start with Adderall. It'll fucking do something. So I had to go through the drug dealer agreement. The what do you call it? This is an illegal drug that I'm gonna dispense to you, and you must agree not to sell it. I don't know. I didn't read the agreement at all. I just fucking I got right in there. And I just fucking signed it. Because, I'm not going to fucking sell it. And, I wasn't going to, I just felt the person, like, over my shoulder, like, wait. I wasn't going to make him wait for me to read the damn thing. But anyway, he was like, yeah, so we're going to drug test you, and you got to sign this waiver. And then we'll get you the Adderall, a 1-month supply. And, So yeah, I went in there. I took my dick out. I don't know why I have to go through the gory details on that, but like I couldn't even fucking fill half the cup. I was like dehydrated, and like I thought I would be able to fill I couldn't even. Anyway, but it didn't matter. They got the test. They got me the results the next day. They actually showed me all the drugs that they tested for. And thankfully, none of them came back positive except for THC. It said presumption positive. It was like, I don't know. It was like it said something that it was abnormal, which means positive. But then another test came back today saying that it was not positive for THC. I was like, okay. I guess I'm getting really shitty fucking weed. And I was really nervous though, because it took him he didn't respond. He didn't send over the prescription for another day. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to message him and ask him if it's a problem that I tested positive for cannabis, even though I didn't, apparently. So anyway, he didn't give a fuck about the THC. He was like, oh, sorry, yeah, I was busy. So I was like, oh, thank you. So he sent it. And I was like, oh, thank fuck, because I was really paranoid and just not happy and bummed out. Like, it was really stressful to go through the process of getting a drug that you're not really that excited to have to be on, and just knowing that like maybe I'm not even going to be able to get it and have to get a new doctor just for some fucking bullshit for weed. So that was a relief. And they filled it tonight. So I was able to get it tonight. That was not a guarantee because this shit is on shortage. There's a shortage of Adderall. What a surprise. A bunch of people need amphetamine in these times. What a surprise. I'm not the only one who needs amphetamine, who needs speed. But I really need it. I'm not just some asshole who wants to like abuse a bunch of stimulants because I really don't. But after more education on the subject, it just seems that this is the most appropriate next step. Like, it just seems like that's the most effective drug for ADHD is a stimulant, man. These are fucking old school stimulants. Like, there's nothing complicated about, and there's really not that big a difference between them, I guess. But like, there is slight differences because some people do better on Vyvanse or Adderall or Dexedrine. That's an older one. But Dexedrine is just dextroamphetamine, which is one of the salts in Adderall. Like Adderall has dextroamphetamine in it. It has some of that in there, but it also has other kinds. So Adderall it's like a cocktail. So it's really not that bad. Hey, okay, I'm getting multiple types of amphetamine, not just one kind. And it's the extended release kind. But some people say that Dexedrine is harder to get, but it does better on some people. And like, I don't know, for some, it's just better for some people, even though it's more restricted. It's less prescribed for some reason, and it's old as fuck. It's been around since like the 30s. And then there's an even less known ADHD medicine called Desoxyn, and that's the holy grail. That is another form of amphetamine. Methamphetamine. Yeah, it's not dextroamphetamine. It's not regular amphetamine. It's the kind that starts with an M. That shit is the highest review. Can you imagine if it wasn't the highest reviewed medicine for anything? Who gives a fuck what it's prescribed for? It's gonna be highly regarded. Who gives a fuck? Prescribe it for anything. It's gonna get high reviews. Like even if it's for like, I don't know, for like like let's say you have a cold and you get prescribed meth. You're not gonna complain. You're not gonna be like, oh shit, that wasn't the right medicine. They're going to be like, yeah, okay, it didn't help the cold, but I'm doing it. Thank you. Anyway, so meth is anywhere you look it up. If you look up Desoxyn on drugs.com or like WebMD or GoodRx, everybody's like, yeah, this is the fucking best shit for ADHD. No side effects. It lasts all day. No come down, no withdrawal. So if you find a doctor and a pharmacy that lets you get this shit, you better hold it close to the vest. So, and there's only like one company. There's only like a hand, like literally I looked it up. There's only like 2 companies that manufactures this shit. There's one company that manufactures the brand name Desoxyn, which sells for $2,000 a month for the brand name kind. And there is a generic, which sells for about $200 a month through GoodRx. That is not that bad. That would be the best kind to try. It comes in 5 milligrams. And I was curious, like, so, okay, if you only need to take 5 milligrams, how much are people taking who take it on the street, who smoke that shit or snort it or inject it? How much are they taking? And supposedly, I don't know, from what I could gather, a big dose would be only like 30 to 40 milligrams. That'd be like a huge, big dose of crystal meth. That's not that much more. That's less than 10 times more than the medical dose. And I've heard that some people take 10, 15, 20 a day medically, like legally through a doctor. So that's really not that much less than tweakers take. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is you have a limited amount. You can't just, have your pharmacy re-up the dose. But you might need a higher dose after a while. So I don't know. Like and also it's so much safer. Like if you're going to be taking meth, okay, like if that's the option, meth versus not getting any help, I'll take the prescribed version of it over the street version. That's a no-brainer. I mean, even if I was taking the prescribed version, that doesn't mean I would ever consider taking the street version unless I was already hopelessly addicted to it and there's like no way else to get. But then you're fucked. And it's like, okay, you're probably not going to have a prescription for much longer in that case anyway, because you're using up all your money on there's no way it would last long. Anyway, so if you're not abusing it, you would have absolutely no inclination to fuck with getting it on the street, because that shit could have anything in it. Could be fucking anything. So you're playing with, you're risking your life. Even if it's just straight up pure meth, you're still risking becoming addicted to it if you take it in that form, because you're going to be smoking it. And smoking it gives you a way more addictive high. It's a more ritualistic, it just becomes a way more habit-forming thing, man. It's like smoking weed. You're smoking in a bong. You collect the reclaim. You boil the water. It's a fucking disgusting habit. That's how you become a meth head. Is if you just start smoking it. It's like, okay, I can see how that becomes a habit, and you get the meth mouth. Anyway, but hey, those meth heads, they're getting a lot of shit done. You don't hear about functional meth heads. The people that take it is for ADHD. They don't talk about how it's like a huge rush of a high. They don't say that it gets you high, because they're just doing the necessary dose. They're taking it as a pill, so it doesn't give you that instant rush. They say it just lifts the fatigue, and it just helps them function. That's it. It's not like, oh, I'm fucking on meth. It's not like that. So it really is a highly desirable drug to seek after, whatever, to seek out. Once the Adderall becomes unpleasant, I guess. I don't know. Maybe Adderall's going to be fucking amazing. Some people that abuse meth prefer Adderall. So, like, what I got, nothing to sneeze. I mean, it's just as abusable as meth. If you snort it, I mean, that shit will get you definitely the same effect. You'll just run out, and then you'll be like, well, that sucks. Now I have to wait a month. You can't just call your doctor up and be like, well, I snorted the entire 30-day supply, so can you help me out? That's the thing. It's like, okay, we'll give you the fucking most sought after street drug that you could possibly. I mean, here it is. The caveat is all you get is 30 pills, so you better learn how to, not become addicted. And that I do have that impetus. Like, I can't be fucking around with this shit. I guess I could get it on the street. I could get Adderall on the street, no problem. I mean, that's not as quite as risky, but it's still risky. Just because it looks like the same pill that you get all the time. So, okay, yeah, that's Adderall. It still requires a little bit of trust in the dealer that what you're getting is in fact not laced with fentanyl. So fuck that. But I don't know, like, this took a little bit of education, because I am somebody that was not open to the idea of going back on Adderall, man. This is a drug that I have experience with, man. As a kid, as a little kid, as a teenager. But that was a different time in my life, man. I had less responsibilities, man. And so now it just seems like, yeah, this is the time to go back on it, see what it does. So it'll be very interesting, man. Because I've not been on Adderall since high school, before I ever started smoking weed. So it's going to be really interesting to see if it actually provides the same benefits that weed provides. Like, if it actually is like, oh shit, I don't need to smoke weed right now. I could actually focus on I could actually like do shit without smoking weed. That would be an amazing breakthrough. And I know it'll do something. Like I know it'll help in some way, at least at first. So it'll be, it'll be interesting. Cause that really is the big thing that I've been struggling with is not being able to follow through on tasks that really I care about, man. It's really sad. Like, it makes me almost like want to like fucking get fucking sad, but I can't. I'm not that sad of a person, but like it just makes me go like, fuck, I can't believe that's what I've needed all this time. This whole past 15 years, I've been completely just living in crisis, like trying to just stay afloat. Like trying to just navigate through this fucking illness by any way I can, and it's been so fucking hard. It's not been easy, man, to be going through this cycle of like, okay. But I'm excited. It's like quite a euphoric feeling that I had when I finally got the prescription filled. I was like, fucking thank fuck, I could finally get back to my life. I could finally start to like have a life again, man. Because I've been taking a long break from life, from anything, from society. And so, like, if I'm not interacting with anybody, I gotta at least record record this fucking podcast to document just so I have something to show for like what was I up to at this time. What was he doing in this time, like when he was just completely isolated? Yeah, I was peeling back the layers of the onion. We've made so many like epiphanies on this podcast, so I do value it, even if if I don't try to make it like a monetary thing. I still I get value out of this podcast. So, because when I first started doing it, I was like, this will be a project to motivate me to stay sober. And then I figured out that being sober is for fucking not for me. It's not about being sober necessarily. It's about picking which drugs to do. Because these fucking Adderall, that shit ain't sobriety. That shit is the opposite of sober. That's meth. So it's a little bit of like a learning of like destigmatizing tweaker culture. It's like, do I want to like become a tweaker and like start taking big rips of a meth pipe? But I definitely don't judge those people as harsh as I used to. There's something to be said for being a tweaker. I mean, they're getting something out of it. And like I used to kind of look at people who did Adderall recreationally with a little bit of like disdain, a little bit of judgment. It's like, how the fuck do you need this? Like, takes like a fucking upper. Like, what is wrong with you? Because I knew, that some people needed it for their ADHD. But not everybody has ADHD. But I know pretty much everybody at one point has taken Adderall. Pretty much everybody has tried it. And I was like, well, I don't fucking see it as a recreational drug. I never took it recreationally, so I don't see it as that. But I know that it delivers. It delivers a fucking punch. Like weed. I was using it to get something out of it. I was using it to get the motivation to focus on boring shit. And that's what I'm going to get out of Adderall. And Adderall, like, so that I will probably get some euphoria, like some rush of like, fuck yeah. And that's what tweakers get. That's the same fucking thing. You get addicted to it. It's like, fuck, I can't not take it. How do you expect me to do anything without this meth, without this amphetamine? Whatever the fuck it's called. And there's nothing that I got in common with Hitler. I hate when people, like, the only thing I got in common with Hitler is that I also take I take the same drugs as him. That's it, though. I mean, yeah, everything he did was fucked up. Pretty much everything he did, I disagree with, except for the drugs that he did. Those were right. So, it's the stigma of meth and of amphetamine, of Adderall, same fucking shit. Because like even before I moved to Chicago, from Chicago to Austin, I was hanging out with some people that were like very good people, good-hearted people, talented, creative, great, friends. I would consider them friends, but I was completely an ass. I took them for granted because I was like, they're just like, they're kind of like, I looked at them as like, they're not, they're not like getting places in life. Like they're not like, I just saw them as like kind of like, not chasing, they're stagnant or something. And I saw them, it's really just, it's two people. It's one in particular that he was a great friend. I miss him, but I was so flippant with his certain behaviors that I just got annoyed with, and I would call him out, and it just became to the point where he would get annoyed at me for calling him out, for getting irritated all the time, and I was like, I could tell that I was rubbing him the wrong way, and so that caused me to not want to hang out with him, and whatever. But he was a super nice guy, and he had access to any fucking drug you could think of, any drug you want. So he could have gotten me Adderall, the name brand kind, not even the fucking generic shit that I got. He could have got me the name brand shit for like, I don't fucking remember, a really good deal, $2 a pill. I don't fucking remember, a good deal. So it's not like Adderall is not hard. It's not like it's hard to get. But I was like super reserved against it. Part of it was also because of epilepsy, because you don't want to be on stimulants if you're on it's not good for that shit. Or if you have a heart condition, you don't want to be fucking taking the fucking stimulant. And I was like, okay, I don't want to be on Adderall, but again, fine that you're on it. And he was taking it a lot, and for some reason, it was like, I don't want to be around this guy when he's on it. Like, I didn't really mind, but I did notice it. I noticed that he was clear, like super different when he was on Adderall. Like, he was way more productive. He was making music, and I was invited to make music with him. But I was not on Adderall, so I was not as fucking focused. I wasn't as like inclined to like do multiple takes. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do one more take, whatever. But I was like, yeah, fuck, so you're on Adderall. That's the only reason you're doing it this much, right? It's because you're on Adderall. That's why you're so fucking productive. He was like, yeah. And I could tell he was like, felt very like judged by that. And I was like, there's no reason to judge somebody for using Adderall for that, because it's not really like he was abusing it. If he, also had ADHD. You know, like he wasn't prescribed it. He was a drug addict, like a recovering drug addict. So I definitely had I stigmatized his behavior regardless of what drug it was. I was like, okay, this is the drug you're on. It happens to be Adderall. Okay, whatever. I mean, it's not something I really feel that comfortable with. But now I do. Now I'm looking back at it. It's like, fucking, what a dick. What a fucking buzzkill. I could have been fucking recording double albums of concept LPs. We could have been touring the whole fucking country. I don't give a fuck. If I was on Adderall, who gives a fuck? It would have been awesome. So I'm looking back, I was like, wow, I was such an asshole. I was like, who gives a fuck if somebody else is on Adderall? Dude, join the fucking party. I don't know, man. I guess something about, like, I guess having like epilepsy, I guess that like made me like a fucking square. Like, cause of course I'm a square. Like, it's not the only time. It's not the only drug I've been a buzzkill. Like cocaine. I don't do cocaine. I have no desire to do that because that's really, really like super expensive, first of all, and also just super short-lived, and it's not safe for epilepsy, so it's still relevant for cocaine, but that's not really quite medically doesn't matter because that's only abused. It's not a fucking medicine. Except for like dental work or something. But anyway, so cocaine, yeah, I don't fucking, but I don't judge people. I should. What the fuck am I doing? Because I still do kind of look at cocaine as like it's a purely recreational thing. You know, there's not really any like medical. You can't be like, yeah, you know, I take it for medical purposes, man. I snort a tiny line, dude. It's not fucking abuse. I take a tiny line and I do 20 minutes of work and I take another line and, you know. I do cocaine all day, every day. And, you know, I have psychosis, but it's not like I'm a fucking addict. Like, yeah, I'm technically a dependent on it. But you can say that about any fucking medicine. You can say that about seizure meds. I'm dependent on... Anyway, I'm not doing cocaine. But it's just... I do still kind of look at it as like, oh, really? You got to do cocaine? Like, it just seems unnecessary. But I don't think it's worth judging people over. But also, I guess I'd still find it kind of okay to judge people for taking... Adderall is a recreational drug because like it makes it difficult for people like me, innocent sufferers of the actual condition that is designed to treat. It makes it, you know, more difficult if everybody just in their fucking mother has it or so, you know, gets prescribed it. Because it really wasn't hard to get prescribed. All I had to do was tell the guy, yeah, I was prescribed it as a kid, diagnosed as a kid twice. Not diagnosed twice, but treated on two separate whatever. And he was like, yeah, usually we would need to like have a diagnosis as a kid and, you know, according to the DSM. And normally I would refer you to a psychiatrist, but that didn't appear to be necessary because he was like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll give you the fucking, what do you want? He asked me, so what do you want? What do you want? So anyway, it really wasn't hard to get Adderall prescribed. So that means that it probably is overprescribed. I mean, who the hell even understands like ADHD. It's still very like new and like it's trendy right now. So that's why like everybody's like, hey man, you gotta get a fucking, it's probably ADHD. It's probably autism, not ADHD. And what else? What else is a very commonly neurodivergent? I'm neurodivergent. Anyway, so I still do look at, like, if you're snorting Adderall, it's like, dude, that's mine. That's my medicine that you're playing around with. I'm fine with it, I guess. As long as there's enough for me. But I'm not doing it for fun, bitch. When the party starts, I don't do Adderall. That's how I party. Me off Adderall is a party. That's when I go fucking crazy. When I'm not on that fucking shit. Oh, you can do it for fun all you want, but I only do that shit when I'm paying taxes. Or when I'm just driving somewhere. Like, I take that shit to prevent chaos. I'm taking that shit to not accidentally run off the road. Yeah, I gotta be on it if I'm going behind the wheel. Isn't that fucking weird? I'm a safer driver on pretty much meth. Yeah, anything like meth is probably... you could safely assume that I would be a better driver on meth because it's the same shit. It's probably even better than Adderall because you're less jittery because it's less side effects because it permeates the blood-brain barrier. So I've already like absorbed the mindset of a tweaker. I remember the moment it happened. I was like, I'm becoming a tweaker. Because I know I like drugs. Like, I know I like the feeling of like it coming on, like the stimulant, like, because weed is a psychostimulant. So I was like, oh fuck, hey, I guess I'm a tweet. I guess I'm a meth guy. I never saw myself as that. But it delivers this equilibrium, and so it does calm you down, man. It's fucking awesome. It's hard to, it's coffee does it too a little bit. The first fucking 10 minutes after I start drinking a cup of coffee, you got that fucking wave of relaxation and focus and like, yeah. So I can only imagine what this amphetamine shit's gonna be like. I mean, I can remember a little bit, and I've also been doing the modafinil, which I've been starting to like kind of understand a little bit more of why it could be like possible to abuse the shit out of that, because like it does like directly influence your dopamine. It increases your dopamine levels. Like that's what every fucking street drug does. That's what every illegal drug, pretty much for the most part, like not psychedelics really, but yeah. So anything that fucking increases dopamine, and that's like what it's selectively without affecting anything else. Modafinil and armodafinil is like it's good at. It's like it only increases that chemical, so you don't really have much side effects. You just feel like fucking awake, and it's just like, you just feel more high performance, but not jittery. But also, I've never overdosed on it, so I don't really fucking know. But I have an understanding of what it would be like to take a lot, because I could feel even from just a little bit of half a pill, I get a little bit of euphoria because of the energy that it gives you, and just removing fatigue. Just energy is enough to make somebody feel like something like addict. That could be addict. Anything that induces that feeling of pleasure or energy, I guess, could be addictive. So I get it. I don't think I'm gonna get more of that though, because it does help me wake up, and it actually helps me a little bit with like productivity. Like actually got me to like do this podcast, I guess. But not really as good as Adderall would be, I think. Yeah, I just don't know if it's the best thing for ADHD. But so fuck modafinil. I got the real shit right now, like the actual hardcore shit that it's fucking speed. Like there's no fucking beat in the bush, man. That's what it is. So next week, I will definitely be able to talk about. I'm kind of nervous to see. To see what I'm gonna be like. Because like, of course, there's gonna be like. It's not gonna be like a miracle drug. It's not like gonna be. Oh, now I'm fucking cured. Like, the first couple days might feel like that. It's like, oh fuck, I'm so fucking. Like, but then of course it's gonna wane, and you gotta take like a tolerance price, like. But whatever. So we're gonna obviously touch on that, and and I talked to my mom about how I fucking got ADHD. I talked to her about this a couple weeks ago, and I told her, hey, this is probably what Kyle has too, my younger brother. He was on this podcast. He probably also has this thing, and I don't think she fucking cares though. I don't think she really listens to that. Whenever I talk about certain things, she doesn't like absorb it. So I don't know if she actually would have gave the information to my younger brother, but I'll just text him. Who the fuck knows, man? Because he's also been struggling with like a little bit of like the same issues that I've been struggling, like this like ability to like follow through. I don't really know if he has the exact same issue as just me, but I think he does actually. So I'm gonna push him to also consider meth. And I think it's funny like how I look, I show up for this drug test looking like a drug dealer. And it's like, don't worry, it's like 30 pills of a generic for Adderall. I don't think I'm going to get by. I don't think I'm going to be having a successful enterprise based on that. So I think even though I look like a drug dealer, come on. This is for me. I need it for me. So I can sell other shit to other people. I need to fucking sell it from the... Anyway, so I don't know. It's just interesting that like these pharmaceutical companies that you've never heard of. There's a bunch of them. They're multinational corporations. Like they're headquartered, Tel Aviv. But they got factories all over the world. And they could be responsible for making the generic or the brand name for any drug under the sun. And it's fucking interesting how this company I've never heard of, you just go to the website and go, okay, here's our products. And they just give you this PDF. It's like 1,000 pages. And it just has every fucking drug in alphabetical order that you've ever heard of. fucking everything. Meth, opioids, Tylenol. It's like, they're all made by the same company. It's like, yeah, they make, hey, oh, okay, what do you need? What do you need? We got it. Yeah, we make that. Yeah, what do you need? What do you need? Yeah, we make everything. It's crazy, man. Like the same company that makes, I don't know, nicotine gum. I don't know, it's just weird. Like the same company is okay, just one company just makes every fucking drug. So like, oh, okay. It's nice to know. So, but only a couple that I could find still produce methamphetamine. So I know which, it's just like, okay, so I'll just be like, okay, if I really need to, I know which company at least, if I really need to, I'll just call up the company. I'll just be like, hey, I don't really understand this whole pharmaceutical business, this whole, like, you gotta go through a middleman. Can you just go direct to consumer, for fuck's sake? Can you just be the Tesla of drug companies? You know what? It's like, I got ADHD. Can you just give me the fucking thing? Just give me the meth. Gives a fuck about a pharmacy. What do I need a pharmacy for? It's like, okay, I'm pretty sure the company that's making it knows what it is and how much of what the fuck do you need pharmacies for? Just have it come direct from the factory that's making the shit. What, they don't label the machines? They don't know what drugs they're shipping at. Why is there gotta be a pharmacist going, okay, 1, 2, okay, let's make sure this is the correct drug. Yep. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the correct drug. I mean, I've bought other shit. I've bought supplements. I've never once got the wrong supplement of any fucking supplement. And I'm pretty sure that's less regulated than, I don't know, a fucking meth lab? So, that's what I'm gonna say on the phone. I'm just gonna be, you do the math. Does that make any sense? Pharmacies are a scam, and I did have to actually physically drive to get the Adderall because it's a fucking controlled substance. So they actually had to check my ID, and it was the most horrible. I thought pharmacists had to get like a fucking 8-year degree or something. I thought it was like a very difficult thing, but this fucking pharmacist was like the same level of proficiency that you would get out of a Wendy's drive-through, but it was a pharmacy. But it was the same exact employee that you would get at a Wendy's. Like, they're like, huh? What do you want? What? Oh, you already paid? What? What's the number again? And it's like, it was so like how is that same the same people that get your order wrong at Whataburger that's who's distributing my medicine? Okay. Whatever. It was correct. It looks like the right stuff to me, but it's like, if Whataburger can't even get a burger order right, how is it that I thought pharmacists had like a slightly higher, but there was no. She acted like I was like an asshole. She was like, not really, but she was like, what? I can't hear you. Oh, that's like the same level of service I get at like a somebody that really is like not in a high paying position. Like, okay, I thought pharmacists made like good, whatever. Who the fuck knows? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Because I feel like there was such a disconnect. And it's not the first time that I've done the, and this is the last topic of the episode. This is a long episode. I didn't think this would be such a long episode, but I always pay with the express pay online when I get Walgreens prescriptions filled, and I tell them, hey, I paid online, I did the express, but they still tell me, okay, it'll be $10. And like, did you just get hired? Did you not know that they have that do you guys not know what that means that I paid? And then they go, oh, okay, it was quite a, like, it was not smooth at all. It was very like, okay, that's inconvenient. Anyway, and the whole point of it was that I didn't have to like go back, have this back and forth of like, yeah, I already did that. Here's the number. Oh, you didn't get, here it is again. You dumb fucking, yeah, so fuck that Walgreens. But I usually just get that shit delivered, but that would have taken it would have taken multiple days. And who the fuck would just, if somebody steals it off my porch, there's 30 days worth of a fucking drug I can't get. That would be really bad if it got stolen off my porch. Because that's where they leave it. You don't fucking put it in the mailbox. It's FedEx. They just leave it just on my porch. So yeah, I would have to message my doctor. Be like, hey, yeah, so somebody stole my Adderall. Can I get more? Like, yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, here's 1,000 pills. Here's a whole here, fuck it. Here's a year's worth. Yeah, they don't do that because they don't trust people. Because why the fuck would they? Why would they trust people with something that gets you fucking cranked? Like I maybe I am not to be trusted with this drug. Maybe I am going to become an overnight junkie. Anyway, I'm not worried about it. I guess I am kind of worried, like I said, you got to make it last the whole month. So if I only have it last 15 days, that might be a problem. Who knows, man? We'll have to experiment with that because, like, my dad, he's like, don't, you don't want to probably take it every day. I was like, yeah, but I take it every day. Because you build a tolerance. But online, anecdotal people, I've heard people, just one person, I think, just say, no, you got to take it every day because if you don't take it every day, it really is like taking an upper because if you don't have a tolerance, you get hit by like a ton of bricks. It's like you feel like you're on an upper. You don't want to have that. So it's like, no, you actually do want to have a little bit of a tolerance. So maybe you do have a every fucking day. I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out, Doc. Adderall. I mean, ADHD. It doesn't like take a break. It doesn't like go on holiday. There's no weekends for ADHD. But I guess it kind of works out because on the weekend, that is when you're supposed to party. And I guess if that's when I'm going to be off the Adderall, yeah, that's when I'll be a fucking reckless, crazy asshole. Well, because I won't be an Adderall, so I'll fit in perfectly at the parties. Because it's not like I don't want to go to parties. It's just that I don't fucking know anybody in this fucking town. And like not to be a dick, but like I don't fucking want to hang out with like just anybody. It's like fucking anybody that'll have me. It's like, okay. It's not like I'm just that. it's not like I'm not capable of having friends or making them. It's just that I want really cool ones. So anyway, but I do want to kind of get back into the fucking comedy community. You know, I should just fucking throw myself back into it for, just a little while. Like, if the Adderall actually helps, I mean, oh yeah, if I could actually like get back into not back into, but into for the first time, building a set and not getting, sick of, moving on from premises 2 seconds after I think of them. It's like, that is what ADHD was stopping me from fucking doing. Being a real comedian. Like, my definition of a real comedian would be somebody that actually, like, develops an act. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, there's people that, like, they do comedy because they want to, like, be a comedian. Like, they get their rocks off by actually, like, doing the job, like, going in front of strangers and entertaining them to your cost, like at your expense. Like, you're fucking working your ass off, writing a bunch of bits, working them out, tweaking them, taking these long fucking travel commutes. You gotta fucking travel the country. Who the fuck, all just to go on, just to entertain strangers. Yeah, that does not appeal to me, man. That's not why I got into comedy. I got into it because it's fun. It's fun to do something that you're kind of like naturally have an inclination for. It's something I am naturally able to do, kind of naturally. So it's like, oh fuck yeah. I kind of want to get good at that. But once I got good at it, it's like, okay. Can I do movies now? Yeah, it's like, now that I got good, it's like, well, I'm not going to, like, keep doing just regular random shit. I lost my thought there, but it's just a shame because not to toot my own horn, but like, there's not that many funny people. Like, a lot of people can't get back into comedy where they left off. I don't know. Like, I could just get right back. I could just jump right back into it. And who gives a fuck if I took 3-4 months off? Like, I still got what you need, which is the only thing people give a fuck about, is that you're funny. So nobody will, like, care. And everybody will remember. Like, that's the cool thing about comedy, is like, or not comedy, but like actually being a comedian is like, if you like somebody, you remember them. They have value, and you keep them in your memory, in your thought bank. So I haven't given up on it yet. It's just because I had to go. Just because I tried really, really hard to quit. It's not. Doesn't mean it's over, man. It's not over, man. It hasn't even started, man. The whole past 10 years. I've just been learning how to, like, build stage press. I just been learning how to build a cadence, how to, like, how to talk funny. Because that's pretty much all it is just talking funny. It's not like actually, like thinking of the cleverest. Nah, just talking funny. That's all the fucking. You don't have to be smart. Some of the funniest comics in the world are not that smart. They're not that gifted. They're just funny. And they've been doing it for 30 fucking years. So they figured out how to be funny in their own voice. And that, once you have that, it's fucking fun, dude. Like, once you can just know that you could work a room and you don't, it's not really about just like having the best material, but it's just about having the best delivery in a way that nobody else can replicate. That is pretty fucking powerful, man. So why would I just let that go to fucking why would I just not use that, man? Man. And also I was thinking about like how I have I could sing in a like, never mind. I'm not going to finish that thought. Because this is a series. Because it's gonna come off as like douchey at this late in the episode, but it is douchey. But I just realized that the reason I was able to do comedy and karaoke consistently for so long is because it somehow delivers enough stimulation for me to keep doing, to where it overrides the ADHD. Because if it's something that you're actually stimulated by, the superpower of ADHD people is that we could actually get deeper into something. We actually have a higher threshold for like interest. Like, we actually are more attentive, like we actually have a bigger appetite than the average person for topics that interest us. So there's a lot of overlap with autism in that respect, man. That's why it's fucking hard to distinguish the two, man. It's like, that's why I was like, do I have autism? Because I do get pretty deep into certain subjects, but that doesn't mean it's autism, man. Autism is like, they're like an expert. Like, they're fucking expert on it. I don't know, man. For all I know, it's not. For all I know, I could not have any fucking bit of autism. It's just complete. Every fucking symptom that I thought was autism could totally be explained by something way less embarrassing, which is like, I'm way less embarrassed about saying I got ADHD than telling people I got autism, because autism is associated with like social awkwardness and like that's not, and just uncoolness, and like ADHD ain't that. So I'd rather have ADHD, but also I don't give a fuck what it is. I really don't. It just seems like, to be honest, ADHD way more accurate. It fits the symptoms way more accurately, because like I was tested for both as a kid, and I did not ever get diagnosed with autism. So, and I was diagnosed. So like, it's not like I have to like reject anything. It's not like I'm going against the grain, or I'm not going against any like professionals there. That's actually the professionals that said I don't have autism. I'm the fucking idiot that diagnosed myself with that shit. Anyway, this has been a very good long episode. I'm not excited to listen back to it and edit it or all that shit, but who gives a fuck? It's just for archival purposes, and in case it's just for basically for the lawyers and for when I die, and like, this is long after I'm dead, to be like, okay, we need to know what he was up to. Let's see if he mentions, I don't know, something about his finances. And I did not talk about that at all this episode. Which is crazy, because like some episodes, that's all I talked about was finance. This one was only about drugs. Not a lot about finance. Not a lot about finance, baby. Anyway, holy fuck. I guess I'm just in the mood to talk to a camera, baby. I'm excited, man. Started my journey as a tweaker. This is the before picture. This is me before meth. I don't know. It looks like an after to me. It's like, okay, if that's you before meth, I don't even want to see the after. Never mind the after. You lost me at the before. That guy fucking looks like he's already on something way worse than meth, dude. It looks like it's a fucking crack cocaine mixed with white supremacy. You can't cure. There's no cure for that shit. All right. Thank you guys very much. Episode 47. Have a good week, y'all.